How's it going, guys? Real FTN here, and welcome to the latest Marquee Matchups SBC video. As you guys can see, the reward for this week's Marquee Matchups SBC is one Prime Gold Players Pack. And as you guys can see, I have basically, completed all the squads. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go through each of these SBCs and show you guys how I did it. The reason why I have already completed is because obviously, the video it does get pretty long, and we don't want that. So I'll just go ahead into each, and say how I did the SBCs and if I had to buy any of the players and how the profit will look and everything like that. And starting off with Napoli against Roma, we have the requirements, and there are Napoli players minimum 1, Roma players minimum 1, Calcio players minimum 6, overall rating minimum 80, and then chemistry minimum 90 with 11 players in the squad. And as you guys can see, we did need 80 rating, and most of the players that I've got are 79, 78, and also I've got 175. And I would always suggest, to always use the lower rated players because, there are a lot of times where you get away with them when you have one high. And as you guys can see, I have this Peperina from Napoli, 83 rated, first owner, and he's tradable, but I'm just going to use him because that's the only player I had from Napoli. And then from Roma, I had a lot of them, quite a lot of them. So I've used this guy, left wing, he fits perfectly into the squad. And the others, I'm going to just sell those, and obviously make some money. And I'll just go ahead and submit this one, and we get one gold players pack. Obviously not the best of the packs, but it is what it is. You can have the best of the packs, and you won't pack anything good. So it's all down to the luck, and we see how our luck is in this for this SBC. And on to the next squad, we have got Orlando against DC United, and as you guys can see, the requirements are Orlando or DC United players minimum 2, leagues minimum 3, overall rating minimum 70, team chemistry minimum 80, and then number of players in the squad 11. And basically this one is a bit tricky since you need 3 leagues. And what I've done is I had 3 players from those respective teams. Again, luckily I had this guy from DC United, I believe that is. Yes, this guy is from DC United, and I've used him. And then from Orlando I had this guy. Again, luckily didn't have to put any money into this squad either. I do think they are not going for a lot, because the market is on a low, so I'm not quite sure if they would be expensive. Wouldn't make sense if they're expensive, but the market is really unpredictable, so you cannot say much. But yeah, as you guys can see, this side is an MLS side, and then this side I've got players from the Argentinian league, got the strong links, and obviously that is great for the chemistry. And then up here, I've got the Mexican league, and some strong links, and then a soft link, and that is able to get me the 94 chemistry and 74 rating. So I'll just go ahead and submit this one as well, and we get one gold pack. And then we are left with 2 squads, Man City versus Chelsea. And for this one, the requirements were Man City or Chelsea players minimum 3, Premier League players minimum 6, rare players minimum 3, team chemistry minimum 90, and then number of players in the squad 11. You might also question that it says minimum 6, so I obviously don't have to use all Premier League players. But to save time, to make it easy, and also I don't have a lot of players, like I always say. When I do these SBCs, I've used a lot of those when the team of the year came out, and for such promotions. So obviously I don't have a lot of players from other leagues that I can use. So I'm saving some of them for other times as well, for other market matches and stuff like that. But with this team, as you guys can see, it's fairly easy. You only need 3 rare players, and or minimum 3 rare players with 90 chemistry. And there is no rating, so basically you can go anything. So as you guys can see, I've only got 4 gold players in. With I've got this guy from Chelsea, the goalkeeper Caballero, I think he's pronounced. And again, luckily I had him in my club. I didn't have to pay anything for this guy. Also, I've used another goalkeeper here, silver card, 69 rated. Again, I've not put any money into him. Obviously, really, really lucky. And then I've got this new signing, Emerson, left wing back, which is also tradable, and I didn't have to put any money on him. And then I've got 3 silver rares, which are able to give me 100 chemistry and 74 rating. So I'll just go ahead and submit this one as well. And we get a 1 small prime gold players pack. So that's pretty decent. And onto the last one, we have Lokomotiv against Spartak Moscow, I believe. And yeah, as you guys can see, for each clubs we've got 1 players. So minimum 1 Lokomotiv player, and then minimum 1 Spartak player, and then we have got minimum 4 from Russian league, and then nationalities minimum 3, rating minimum 79, and then chemistry minimum 90. And then as you guys can see, I've got this guy from Lokomotiv, so Again, really lucky. I didn't have to put any money into this squad either. And he's 77 rated. Then I've got, for the cam, you guys can see, this is the perks of using a from the same league, because as you guys can see, I've got a CDM up here, on this guy here. I've got a CDM, and he's obviously 76 rated, so, but he's a CDM, and this is a cam position. And then these two guys as well, I've got CMs, but since they have those links, they are able, I'm able to get the squad done. And obviously, you guys might be aware with that, but if you guys aren't, that's the way I like to go with with these SBCs, that you just use the team from the same league, and so you are able to save yourself the money that you have to put. Otherwise, I didn't have any other cam, I didn't have any cam at all, so obviously I had to buy those. And for this formation and for this SBC, they might be going for a lot. Right now, I'm able to make what you call profit, and I haven't put any money onto this, so obviously that's great. And the Spartak player that I've used is this guy right here, 80 rated, and as you guys can see, I've got quite a few 77, 76, and then I've got a few 80s and 180 and 181 that I was able to get me pass through this SBC. And I'll just go ahead and submit this one, and we get a 1 premium gold players pack, I believe, which is quite decent. And then for completing all of it, we get 1 prime gold players pack, which is, I think, worth 45k, so obviously that's great. And what I'll do next is I'll just go ahead into the store and open these packs, and hopefully we can pack something good. These SBCs are all about the packs, so maybe from this one we can get something from these new rating refresh players. But we start with the gold pack, and let's see what we can get with this one. Obviously, it's not the greatest of the packs. I'm not expecting to get anything good either. I mean, we don't get any balls, so that's understandable, and that's not something to worry about. We do get a Premier League player and then a French League player, I believe, and we also get 1,000 coins, so that's pretty alright. And we already made profit, 1,000 coins, so that's not the worst. And we also get 1 Juventus player, which is obviously, he might be valuable. I'm not quite sure. I can go and check that right away. I'm not quite sure if he will be. He's going for 1,500 at the lowest, so that's not the worst. I'm gonna save him for now, and just because I am quite sure, that once Juventus marquee matchups or any of those for that team comes on, obviously he's gonna sell for a lot. This I'm just gonna quick sell because wait, did I quick sell all? Did I actually quick sell all? I'm not quite sure. This is what I hate, it actually happens at times. However, we do get billboards in this one, but that really doesn't matter, because I don't really mind quick selling all of that stuff, because it wasn't the best of the stuff, so it doesn't really matter. But again, it wasn't the best thing to do, but accidentally, I wasn't quite sure, and I always get mixed up between those two, so I wouldn't really. I mean, I do mind, but I cannot complain. And these I will quick sell, obviously, and the rest I would just save. And the boss we have got is Aduri, so obviously that's really good. And I'll save him for some other time, and sell him for the hype, and hopefully make some coins. And let's get into the small prime gold players pack, and let's see what we can get in this one. And it is not a board, so that's not the best, but it doesn't really matter. But we do get a 79 rated and then 78. Some good, or some decent gold players that we can use at other times. So I'll just go ahead and save those into the squad. And then we have got 2 packs left, and the best ones, obviously, a premium gold players pack and prime gold players pack. And hopefully we can pack something good with these ones. Maybe not, maybe yes. We do get another board, so that's great, in premium gold players pack, and it is a German center back from Bayern. It is Sule, because obviously it was, when it goes fast, it's not those expensive ones. But another 83, so obviously that's not the worst. And we've got 178 as well from Valencia, and then few other decent players that we can use for our other SBCs, But I'll just go ahead and save them in my squad as well for now. And then we're left with the last pack, the best one, prime gold players pack. Hopefully we can pack something good in this one as well. Another boss, hopefully the best pack, and we don't get anything good. That's how it is in FIFA, like the worst packs gave me boats, but the best one didn't give me any boat. And the highest rate that we get is 182 Vela from the MLS, the transfer card. But still quite decent, not the worst. Obviously, like I said, I did make profit, so I mean, I'm not sure that these players would go for a lot. Maybe these would, so I'll just put them into the transfer list for now. but this guy I'm not quite sure, so I'll just quick sell them since it's a duplicate, and all the others I would just save into the into the team. But that was it for this market matchups, guys. Not our luck today, but we'll take it, and we just hope for something better next time. But that was it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one.